Yeah, let's talk about
You're welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk About It with your boy. Let's talk about being different. And what I mean by being different is being yourself. And like I said, what I mean by, being yourself and being different, like you're into what you're into, right? And a lot of times we try to conform to what's popular, what's in, and we lose some of ourselves because we try not to be, the weird person, or uh oh, why does that person do this? And I'm honestly, I want to just talk about it's really okay to be different. Like it's really okay. Like growing up for me, I was I was skinny. I didn't really hit puberty in the voice department until I say like 16, 17, honestly. So, but I mean, just even within that, like that was me at the time. That was me. And being different, or feeling like you're different, or feeling like the things that you're into to others may be weird. Honestly, who cares? Because that's you. That's just who you are. That's who you are. And there were times for me, in school, whether it be middle school, high school, I found myself, trying to be into to music that, I'm just giving an example, like being into music that maybe I may not be interested in at the time, but everybody else, my friends, or the popular kids are, listening to it and stuff like that. And at times I caught myself trying to conform to it, and just to be, cool and stuff like that. But in my alone time and stuff like that, I'm listening to music that I really want to listen to. And as I got older, I realized, oh, I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna be into the things that I'm into. And if other people think that that's weird or different, that's cool. I'm okay with that, honestly, because look at all the inventors that we've had over the years, over the decades and stuff like that. The Albert Einsteins, like, people call him weird and different. Then you got, like, say, like, Basquiat. People thought, maybe his paintings were weird and stuff, like it was different. But now look look now, everybody wants a Basquiat painting in their house, or you know like, just where I'm getting at is, yo, being different is okay. Being into what you're into is okay. And if your friends ain't cool with it, and the people ain't receiving your energy and your vibes, who cares? Who cares? If you're into uh country music, if you're into anime, if you're into horseback, right? Like, I mean, that stuff is cool. But to other people, that stuff sounds, that's being weird, and like it's whatever you're into, man. And I'm just seeing a lot of people getting caught up in what society deems as cool and what society deems as popular, and what that does is create so many insecurities, because you're looking at yourself like, well, I'm this way, and I'm into this, and people aren't really rocking with it like that. So I may have to change things, or damn, I feel, uncomfortable in my skin because of this, or I feel uncomfortable pursuing this because everyone says it's, weird or different, or, not the norm. And we don't want to create that type of environment. We don't, because who you are is just who you are. And I know you could take that, that conversation can go so many levels. But we got to get to a point where, like, we got to get to a point where it's okay to live in who you are, and being different starts the being the first this to, you know being different creates first to do that. Be comfortable in that. Be comfortable in the things that you're into. Be comfortable, because you can turn whatever that you're into your passion. And trust me, you will be much happier being comfortable in yourself than worrying about what other people think of you, and what society thinks of you. Once we tap into that, and really, and really truly believe, like, not only just believe in yourself, but not care what anybody else thinks of you. And I'm not saying be, reckless and, oh, I don't care. No, I'm in a sense of, yo, if that's your dream, go for it. Who cares if your friends ain't going for it, or they're not supporting, or whatever the case may be, or if you have a disability, and been made fun of and stuff like that. Like, forget all that. Like, I I don't. You look at yourself like, I don't have a disability. This is just, it is what it is. Like, I'm gonna still pursue this. I'm still gonna go after this. Like, that's the mindset that we have to have. When I say, don't be afraid to be different. Don't be afraid to be yourself. Don't, like, seriously, don't be afraid to be comfortable and maneuver in you, and like what you like. That's really what it is. Because with everything, because we live in a society now where so many things are going on in the world. Not only in the world, but we got crazy things going on in this country alone. It's a lot of things that can really mess with your mental, and add on to you know, maneuvering through life, whether it's dealing with insecurities and stuff like that. It's just the real solution is just digging deep in yourself and really realizing and understanding that for one, I'm not doing the things that I'm doing for anybody else but myself and maybe my, loved ones. But at the end of the day, I got to be held accountable for it. So I got to work on myself. I got to work on not being affected by the chatter, the noise, the outside noise. It'd be hard. I'm not saying that stuff is gonna just be easy. It's not, you know, I'm not saying that it's just gonna happen overnight. No. But at least you know it's there. Like, you know what? Why am I worrying about them over there? I'm good. So be different. Think outside the box. Think about things nobody else is thinking about. That's what I mean. That's what I mean by being different. When they go right, you go left. Like change. Like there's nothing wrong with you know being different. There's nothing wrong with you know your style of things. They may not get it yet. That happens. They may not get it yet. They didn't. They didn't. They're not going to see the vision, but that's okay. That's cool. So step out there. Step out there. If you have an unorthodox idea about, let's say, a certain film, step out there. If you have a different approach when it comes to maybe music, try it out. Especially if that's your lane, go for it, man. We are not all the same people. And as soon as we actually understand that, then we can start moving and actually living more free because you're not worried about if the chatter, the if people are gonna like this idea or people gonna like what's coming from you. If you're okay and comfortable with being you, then go for it. Like if it like just this it just came to this was heavy, like this being different, right? Because I see a lot of me and my son, but he's also him. Like there's a lot of traits that my son has of me, or the things that I did growing up. But then there's also Zach, and we let me and my wife let him be him. We try not to restrict him and get him to go to a certain lane, you know, creatively and stuff like that. So, but sometimes I catch myself, you know, thinking like just some of the stuff that my son watches, like he's in the, FNF and FNAF and things that I wasn't into growing up. And sometimes I have to like snap out of it sometimes and just let him be him. And yeah, that's that's what I'm saying. Like, if you got kids, for one, let your kids be different. Let your kids be them. Don't try to make your kids be you. You had that chance. Don't try to mold them into something that you failed to do, or whatever the case may be. Like, let them be them. Let them be different. Of course, give them, structure and, morals and stuff like that. But you got to let him, you got to let their kid, your kids become them and who they're going to be. And that's all I'm saying. Like, if you have a different perspective, if you're if people let's say this, I'll say this: if you've been called different before, we all have. We've all been called different before. We've all been called the weirdo, or that's weird, that's different. Like, that's cool. It is what it is. It's all right. We've all been called it before, and I'm just here to say that's all right. That don't get caught up on it because you want to please somebody else. You want to make somebody else happy. Nah, make yourself happy. Because you're the one that has to live with yourself. And if that's who you are, that's just who you are. We cannot run from who we are. And if the world isn't ready for you, then you got to show them. That's it. We got to get to a point where we're just comfortable in our skin, comfortable with us, comfortable with being who we are. If you like, I get it. I get wanting to be in with the in crowd. I get it. I was in high school before. I get it. Like, and even outside of high school, just being in the, in certain circles, we have tricked our minds to think that we have to be a certain way in society because society deems it that way. We got to break out of that. We got to truly break out of that. We don't have to, like, there's so many things I could talk about when it comes to that. Like, we don't have to, for instance, live above our means because we see everybody else doing it. Like, we don't got to do that. We don't got to try to get a fancy car because you want to, show off and we don't got to do that. Like, don't change yourself. Do not change yourself for people, for one, that don't give a damn about you. And that wouldn't change for you. I mean, like, don't do that. Don't do that. Because you'll make yourself miserable trying to please everybody. You will make yourself miserable trying to make everybody happy by, doing everything to put a smile on their face or to fit in, when all the while it's hurting you inside. Because I don't really listen to this type of music, or I'm not really into going out like that, or that stuff it starts to affect you, especially over the years. It's good. You're probably good at it early in life. You're good at, tucking that your inner person in to conform to society and make everybody else happy. But as you get older, you start to it starts to hurt. Well, not it just starts to you start to think about it more. It's like, hold up. I don't care about them. Like as you get older, it should start clicking. So we just gotta really, really tap in. And the reason why I say that is because I can't tell you, I can't tell you, hey, stop caring what other people think about you. I can't tell you that. Like like that's not gonna fix things. Like that's not gonna help. I wish it did. I wish I could say, hey, stop doing that, or stop worrying about other people, and it fix itself. No, that's why I say this all internal. You really have to look at yourself and really analyze certain situations and analyze times where you maybe hide your true self or hide being, different. So that's why I'm always talking about your internal awareness, because a lot of our problems that we face in life, especially as you identify them as you get older, can be fixed if we just change how we react to certain things, or change the way we approach certain situations. But that's all a mindset thing. That's not something I can just tell you how to do, because I could tell you to do it and how to do it, but if you're not feeling it, if you're not feeling that, then it's not going to happen. You'll easily just go back to, all right, I'll just let it happen. That's just that's how it works. So when I say a lot of our problems and a lot of our life journeys and our downs and some of the problems that we do face later on in life, or even early life, is can be fixed or somewhat controlled by having a different mindset with things, or being confident in yourself and believing in yourself, and not really caring about anything else that is deemed a distraction. So when I say don't be afraid to be different, tell you got to tell yourself that, for real. Like I think about me. Grew up skinny kid. Got made fun of a lot. I was still cool. Like people knew me. I was cool. But I hear stuff like, man, you skinny. You like, so there was nothing I can do at the time. I couldn't change nothing. I just had to accept it. It took a while for me to accept it. But then I started to think a little bit like, hold up. I'm skinny, but maybe I'm skinny because maybe I'm not doing this. Maybe I changed my outlook on the situation to help out with my insecurities, because that created that did, I'm not gonna lie, early in life, like when I was a kid, it may not seem like it now, but when I was a kid, I had some insecurities of being just skinny. Um, my voice wasn't deep at all. I've gotten mistaken for being, sounding like a girl and stuff like that. So I dealt with some of those. I dealt with some of that stuff, and that was just who I was. I was a skinny kid growing up. I couldn't change that at the time, or I didn't think I could change that at the time. But as I got older, and of course, I put more weight on and started, using my brain. Like, look, you're not going to be skinny your whole life. But I'm saying this to say this, like, I accepted it at the time that I was skinny and different, and didn't hit puberty yet, didn't have no hair on my legs, didn't have on, like, I was a late bloomer. So in my mind, I was different than everybody else. And after a while, I accepted it. It's like, yeah, I am skinny. Cool. I'm the skinny kid. And my mindset started to change, and I started looking at it differently, like, all right, I got to do something to change this, because this could really affect, like, I know I wasn't thinking about that back then, but I know I was definitely thinking, like, yo, I'm all right. I got to do something. I got to change things up. But looking back now, like, that could have, if I stayed in that pocket, that would have ruined me. Like, I don't know how it would turn out. I don't know, So it's in your, like, it's a mindset thing. Like, there are some things that we have to accept when it comes to certain things within us. And what I mean by that is, like, of course, if, let's just say, you have a physical apparent, something is physically, wrong, like a disability or something, right? Like, you can accept that, yes, I have a disability, but don't let that disability be you. That's what I mean. Like, and you see it all the time. We got Olympic athletes that have disabilities and, stuff like that. They change the definition of being different. Because, yes, like, when you, from the outside looking in, like, from the outside, yes, that's different from the average everybody else, but they changed that. And that's what we have to start doing. We have to start fighting back, like, in terms of our mind. Honestly, when we were younger, we embraced it. We embraced being free, different. We embraced the openness of our minds when we were younger. And we really have to get back to that. It seems like we've lost it. And that is the reason why maybe you didn't go for the dream that you wanted, because you tried to go where where everybody else was at, and you gave up on that. So we truly have to get back. Like, we have to get back to that childlike, free spirited, not afraid to be me type mindset. And as soon as we start doing that, then certain things won't bother you as much. You'll embrace, you'll take that as a compliment. Like, there's something about, you're so different. There's something. Thank you. I appreciate that. I am different. I am. I want to be different. I don't want to be like you. I don't want to be like everybody else. So yes, I am different. I'm going to embrace being different. I'm going to embrace my style. This is my style. This is my brand. I don't have to be like you. I don't have to be like you. I don't. This is who I am. This is authentic to me. And if that's different, so be it. So be it. Be a trendsetter. When you are different, you stand out. Trust me. When you're different, you stand out. So keep being different. There's nothing wrong with it. Trust me. It feels good to be truly who you are and not worrying about if people are going to accept you or not. Or if people are going to accept your ideas or your methods or your style. That's fine. Maybe it wasn't for you. Because it's me. And if you like it, cool. I appreciate that. And if you don't like it, all right. I can't do nothing about that. All I can do is keep being me and take control over myself. And know that it's okay to go a different route. It's okay to go a different path. As long as the end result is the same, I'll take a different path. I'm different. And I'm also built different too. Like, you have to think like that. You have to be built for it. Be different in yourself, but also back it. This is my style, and I believe in that, and I'm going to stand on it. And I'm going to back that 100%. Be confident in it. Trust me, I'm telling you, people will eventually come around. And if they don't, it's okay. There are a lot of different rich people in this world. There are a lot of different successful people in this world. A lot of these people that are successful now, a lot of these people that are well known now, that we know the names of, at one point, somebody called them weird or different and said, nah, this ain't gonna work. I don't believe in that. Or just laughed you off. But look at them now. Because they stayed who they were. They didn't care if they were different or not. But I really appreciate y'all listening to another episode of Let's Talk About It with your boy.
Let's talk about it.